Back at it again. Welcome back to Headlight Headlines, your daily automotive news podcast. My name is Clayton, your host. We've got a few stories to get into today, but before we get started, make sure you check us out on Twitter at HlightHlines. We post an update every time that a new episode goes live. Also check us out on YouTube at Headlight Headlines, where you can always find a video version of this podcast. Just a couple of stories today, not too much for this Friday, September 30th, the end of the month. But we've got a couple things, starting it off with our friends at Lamborghini. So they are adding a new Lamborghini Urus S into the lineup. It is a mid-cycle refresh with new styling and more power. So this is right under the Performante in the Urus lineup, and the S model has the same 4-liter twin-turbo V8 as the other one. It is a Urus for just the base model, or it is a replacement Urus for the base model. So there's just this and then the Performante. You can see it's got some new wheels. It has this mean quad tip exhaust in the back, 641 horsepower. This has the same power as the track focus Performante, which is 657 horsepower. The 641 was the outgoing model. So it has 16 more horsepower. Torque remains the same at 627. It is 3.5 seconds 0 to 60. So that's quicker than the old one, just by a little bit. It has the adaptive air suspension, and it has the same drive modes, the Strada, Corsa, and 3 terrain modes. So I think it looks pretty nice. The interior looks really crazy right here where that center console area is. It looks like there's so much going on. They've got the screen, they've got a few buttons, they've got the whole climate control, then they've got the drive mode select, and they've got the start stop, they've got whatever that is, they've got the too much stuff, but it looks cool. You can see the front end, the hood looks a little different compared to the old one. It's a little more aggressive up front. Comes with 21, 2, or 3-inch wheels. So obviously this is a crazy SUV. Comes in right around $200,000, and it'll be out pretty soon, they're saying. Obviously we don't have exact pricing yet for the United States. European pricing, 195,000 euros. So pretty close to $200,000. But it looks pretty sporty. It looks nice. The Urus is a very popular SUV. It's probably Lamborghini's best-selling vehicle at the moment. And it's crazy. And here's just an updated version of it. So I really like it. I'm interested to see what that finalized pricing comes in. I guarantee you it comes in over $200,000, just because how prices are nowadays. But yeah, really cool to see Lamborghini giving us a refresh of this super popular SUV. Next up, we have not talked about this vehicle yet. It has kind of slipped through the cracks. The Toyota Crown that is coming here soon. It will be replacing the Toyota Avalon. So the Crown has been along for a long time, nameplate used. They obviously the Crown from the 90s, very popular. And it's been just like a Japanese car, so we haven't really had much of the Crown in the United States. So yeah, replacing the Avalon, and it's a plug-in hybrid. Talked about it. They are saying they are using the RAV4 2.5 liter engine, dual electric motors powering the front wheels. They're saying about 340 horsepower with the whole hybrid engine arrangement. The styling is very interesting. It is like a two-tone colorway of red and black, which I think looks terrible together. And I don't know, the red paint looks very odd just in these renders. They are saying that it's going to be 340 horsepower, which is a lot. They're trying to make their luxury sedan more fun and exciting by bringing in the Crown instead of the Avalon, which is understandable. The Avalon was not the best-selling vehicle in the world. I'm just not sure about this color combination. It's got a black hood. The grille and up front all is black. The sides are red, and the trunk and the area around it is black. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, a big automotive trend lately has been two-tone paint job with the roof being a different color. So like a black roof. Chevy's done a white roof. This is a little more extreme, and I don't think it's going to help what they want right now. Also has this random giant black piece on the side. Not sure that I like it. Not sure I'm the biggest fan. If they have any colorways that aren't like that, I would like them more. So this vehicle is kind of like, it has a taller stance than most other sedans out there. It kind of looks like, almost like those really small SUVs, like the tiny ones, kind of has that same stance on the sedan. It's not terrible. Obviously, the fitment is horrendous, but whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really interested to see this. Once it's like fully coming out, I would really like to see one just to see. The front looks very Corolla. The sides honestly look really Nissan Altima to me for some reason, or Maxima even. The back, I have no idea. The back kind of has like this interesting slope down that's kind of sporty, but pretty cool just to see they're trying to do something instead of the Avalon. But I don't know if this colorway is going to help them at all. Next up, we've got Cybertruck things. Obviously, the Cybertruck was revealed so long ago. Like 3 years almost ago, which is insane. Because I remember watching it in the house I lived in back then. That was 2 houses ago that I lived at when that was unveiled. And I stayed at my last house for 2 years. So yeah, it was almost 3 years ago. And it's crazy they were trying to say it would cost $40,000 because there's no way, no chance it will. That Ford Lightning, those resell daily for over $100,000. This Cybertruck is going to be insane. So Elon's basically said that the Cybertruck can float. I don't know if he necessarily said it could float. So that's what I don't really like about this article. He said back in 2020, he said the Cybertruck can float for a while on a Fox News article. So I don't know really what that means. But yeah, they're saying anything can float, technically. Staying afloat, obviously, that's going to be your issue. But I don't know if that's necessarily what he's talking about. So let's get into his tweets. He said, Cybertruck will be waterproof enough to serve briefly as a boat, so it can cross rivers, lakes, and even seas that aren't too choppy. So that means it has to be able to float. Like rivers and stuff like that, small ones, you may be able to cross just by driving through them. Lakes, that's a little questionable. And seas, I don't know. Seas that aren't too choppy, I don't know what on earth that means. But he's saying it can float because it has to be able to cross something like that. Which is very interesting that it will be that waterproof. Kind of unnecessary, but then he says this. Needs to be able to get from Starbase to South Padre Island, which requires crossing the channel. So, obviously for that, I'm not sure how deep that channel is or anything, but obviously that's the reason why they're making it like that, which it's just very odd. I'm not sure, because if it can float, how's it going to move in the water? It's going to have like a rotor in the back? I don't know. Very, very weird. I have been so excited for the Cybertruck ever since it was announced. It is so weird. I would never own one, but I want to see it. And I want the electric ATV. But besides that, it's so weird. So weird. And we're going to go to our last story today. McLaren P1 submerged by a hurricane after a week with new owner. I saw this on Instagram a few days ago. First off, I just want to say what is happening in Florida from the hurricanes is horrifying. Obviously, so many people have lost everything. So many people have lost their lives. And it's very scary. Prayers out to all those people that are involved there. Stay safe as best you can. And it's very scary. We've had a lot of flooding here recently, which has been really hard for people. So this will be even harder to come back from. And this is just another example of that. So this guy, his Instagram is Lambo9286. His name is Ernie, apparently. He bought this McLaren P1 last week, I believe it was. He bought it with 300 miles on it. He said he was going to drive it a bunch. And then now this. So, very sad to see how high this water is here, where it's literally sweeping cars out of people's garages. Hopefully these people can stay safe. Just very sad to see. But seems like Ernie is okay, which is great to hear. And hopefully one day he can get back behind the wheel of the P1. That's going to be all we got for today. Check us out on Twitter at HLightHlines. You'll get I'll tweet out every time a new episode's posted. Also on YouTube at Headlight Headlines. You can always catch a video version of this podcast. You can see me. You can see me talking about the stories. You can look at the pictures with me. So check us out on there. Be safe, everybody. Prayers out to those in Florida from the hurricane. And have a great day and have a great weekend. See y'all in the next episode.